In the dim shadows where fear lurks, there exist tales that haunt the deepest corners of the mind. One such story unfolds in a small, seemingly peaceful town, where whispers of a long-abandoned asylum echo through the streets. Locals speak of an eerie figure seen wandering the grounds at night, draped in a tattered hospital gown. Those brave enough to explore the ruins describe an unsettling chill that envelops them, accompanied by distant cries that creep into their consciousness, setting hearts racing. Another horror story weaves through the lives of an unsuspecting family who welcomed an antique doll into their home. At first, the doll appeared innocent enough, perched quietly on a shelf, but soon peculiar occurrences began to disrupt their daily lives, objects moving, soft laughter in the dead of night, and unsettling dreams that felt all too real. It wasn't long before the family learned the doll held a dark past, harboring the restless spirit of a child who had suffered tragically. Sleep became elusive, and shadows danced menacingly at the corners of their vision, leaving them paralyzed with dread. In a remote campsite nestled deep in the woods, a group of friends sought adventure, unaware of the malevolent presence that watched from the trees. They began their night around a flickering campfire, sharing ghost stories that would later pale in comparison to the true horror that awaited them. As night thickened, strange noises crept closer, crunching leaves, the snapping of twigs and low growls that sent shivers down their spines. One by one they began to vanish, swallowed by the darkness, leaving their laughter echoing like a ghostly farewell. The final tale spins around a haunted mirror that was said to reveal more than just reflections. Those who gazed into its depths felt a pull, a connection to another realm shrouded in despair. Glimpses of shadowy figures and twisted faces haunted their dreams, leading to inexplicable phenomena within their lives. Friends turned against each other. Loved ones became strangers as madness seeped through their reality, inextricably tied to the malevolence captured within the glass. These stories lie not merely in the realm of fiction, but resonate from the fears we often conceal. The insidious nature of these accounts reminds us that reality can blur with nightmares lurking just behind the veil, waiting for the perfect moment to reveal itself. To those who dare to delve deeper, remember, sometimes the darkest places are not found in the shadows alone, but also within our own hearts. In the stillness of a March night in 1990, a meticulously planned crime unfurled at the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, forever altering the landscape of art theft. Two men, cloaked in the authority of police officers, approached the museum's security, weaving a tale of urgency that would dismantle a fortress of culture and history. With deceptive ease, they navigated past locked doors, igniting a chain of events that would lead to the theft of 13 irreplaceable works of art valued at over $500 million, leaving behind a haunting emptiness in the museum's revered halls. As the moonlight cast shadows across the museum, the unsuspecting guards fell victim to a carefully orchestrated ruse. The thieves seized their moment, binding the guards and embarking on a search for masterpieces by beloved artists like Vermeer, Rembrandt, and Degas. Each piece stolen was a page torn from the museum's rich story, paintings that had evoked awe and inspiration. Since their installation, the heist unfolded with an eerie calmness, as the intruders recognized the eternal value of their quarry, works that spoke of beauty and genius, now precariously strapped within a getaway vehicle. Despite a lengthy investigation and widespread media coverage, the case grew cold, clouded in mystery and speculation. The art world, abuzz with hopes for their return, witnessed the progression of imaginative theories and leads that danced along the edge of possibility. Meanwhile, the museum, staunch in its mission, displayed empty frames, ghosts of the stolen works in a poignant reminder of loss. These frames told stories richer than the paint that once filled them. They whispered of legacy and longing, echoing the absence of what once was. Over 3 decades later, not a single piece of artwork has been recovered, fostering an air of intrigue that captivates both casual visitors and seasoned art detectives alike. The Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum heist stands as a testament to the fragility of cultural treasures and the audacity of those who covet them. Each year, The museum honors the missing pieces within its walls, igniting discussions that connect art lovers, historians, and amateur sleuths in a shared pursuit to uncover the fate of the vanished masterpieces. The full story behind the heist may remain shrouded in shadows, but the light of curiosity and determination continues to shine brightly, urging all to seek the truth behind this compelling chapter in art history.
Once there was a small town nestled in the heart of the forest. The townspeople often spoke in hushed whispers about the old abandoned mansion that stood at the edge of town. It was said that the mansion was haunted, and that anyone who dared to enter would never be seen again. But like all good scary stories, there were always those who didn't believe in such things. One stormy night, a group of daring teenagers decided to prove everyone wrong. They planned to spend the night in the haunted mansion, hoping to debunk the ghostly rumors once and for all. As they made their way through the overgrown gardens and into the creaking front doors, they felt an eerie chill settle over them. The inside of the mansion was just as creepy as they had imagined. The walls were covered in peeling wallpaper, and the floors creaked beneath their feet. Despite their fear, they set up their sleeping bags in what had once been the grand ballroom and settled in for the night. But as the storm raged outside, strange things began to happen. Shadows danced across the walls, and chilling whispers filled the air. The teenagers tried to ignore it, convincing themselves that it was just their overactive imaginations. But as the night wore on, their courage began to wane. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream echoed through the mansion, sending the teenagers into a panic. They frantically searched for the source of the sound, but found nothing. As they huddled together in fear, they realized that they were not alone in the mansion. Something was watching them from the shadows, something malevolent and hungry. Terrified, they tried to flee, but the doors and windows were all mysteriously locked. With no way out, they were at the mercy of whatever haunted the mansion. One by one, they began to disappear, dragged into the darkness by unseen hands. In the end, only one of the teenagers managed to escape the mansion. But the horrors of that night haunted them for the rest of their days. They had learned the hard way that some tales are best left untouched, and that haunted mansions are not just stories to scare children. They are real, and they hunger for the souls of those who dare to enter. And so the legend of the haunted mansion lived on, a warning to all who dared to test the boundaries of the supernatural. Have you ever experienced something so terrifying that it sends shivers down your spine? Well, let me tell you about a real-life scary story that will make you think twice before turning off the lights at night. It was a dark and stormy night, and I was driving home alone after a long day at work. The rain was pouring down in sheets, and the wind was howling like a pack of wild wolves. I could barely see the road ahead of me, but I had to get home. As I was driving through a secluded stretch of road, my headlights caught a glimpse of something in the distance. It looked like a figure standing on the side of the road, but as I got closer, I realized it was a woman drenched in rain, with a pale and ghostly look on her face. Feeling a tug of sympathy, I pulled over to offer her a ride. She got into the car without saying a word, and I asked her where she needed to go. She simply pointed ahead, and I continued driving in the direction she indicated. That's when things started to get eerie. I glanced at her in the rearview mirror, and I noticed that her reflection was not in sync with her movements. It was as if she was moving in slow motion, and her eyes had a vacant, otherworldly stare. I tried to shake off the feeling of unease and focus on the road, but suddenly she started whispering in a low, haunting voice. She spoke of things that no stranger should know about me, things that sent chills down my spine. I asked her how she knew all this, but she just continued to whisper in that bone-chilling voice. As we approached her supposed destination, I couldn't wait to get rid of her, but when I turned to tell her we had arrived, she was gone. There was no trace of her in the car, not even a drop of water from her clothes. I was left in a state of shock and confusion, wondering if what had just happened was real, or if it was all just a figment of my imagination. To this day, I still can't explain what happened that night. Was it a ghost? A figment of my imagination? Or something even more sinister? All I know is that it was the scariest experience of my life, and it has left me with a lingering sense of dread every time I drive alone at night. So the next time you find yourself driving down a dimly lit road on a stormy night, keep an eye out for any unexpected passengers. You never know what kind of chilling encounter you might experience. The haunting echoes of Hollow Hills. Ladies and gentlemen, gather round as I spin you a chilling tale, a real-life, scary story that will send a shiver down your spine. Now imagine yourself wandering through the depths of darkness, where fear grips your heart, and every corner conceals a sinister secret. This is the tale of Hollow Hill, a place once full of life and laughter, now consumed by a haunting darkness. In a small idyllic town nestled amidst towering mountains, Hollow Hill stood as a beacon of tranquility. Days passed with mirth and joy, but beneath the surface, something ominous lurked. Locals huddled together, whispering tales of strange happenings, unexplained noises, and ghostly figures seen only in the moon's pale light. One evening, Sarah, a courageous young woman, took it upon herself to unveil the truth hidden within Hollow Hill's shadowed history. Armed with a flashlight and determination, she ventured into the heart of darkness, ready to confront the terror that held the town in its icy grip. With every step, the air grew thick and heavy, making it hard to even breathe. The once comforting silence transformed into a cacophony of unsettling sounds, as if the very trees whispered foreboding secrets. Sarah pressed on, her curiosity and bravery meshed with an undeniable dread that tore at her every nerve. As she delved deeper, she discovered old dilapidated houses, their windows long shattered and walls swallowed by ivy. Each decaying structure emanated an aura of melancholy. As if the spirits of long gone residents roamed the halls, rustling footsteps echoed around her, making her heart race, while whispers, too faint to comprehend, teased her senses. Then she stumbled upon the long-abandoned Hollow Hill Asylum, its soul-shattering history etched into the very bricks that held it upright. It was rumored that the asylum had witnessed unspeakable horrors, leaving an indelible mark on the land. Inside, Sarah found herself confronted by an eerie darkness that seemed to have a life of its own. Distant wails and moans reverberated through the halls, making her hair stand on end. The air grew colder, and her breath hung in the atmosphere like ghostly apparitions. She could almost feel the weight of the past, the pain and suffering that once consumed the forsaken souls trapped within those walls. Suddenly a chilling gust of wind slammed doors shut, trapping Sarah within its malevolent embrace. Panic surged through her veins as the ethereal terrors closed in around her. Shadows danced upon the walls, taking twisted forms that resembled long-forgotten tormentors. She fought against the pitch-black despair that threatened to engulf her, summoning her last shreds of courage. With a resolute spirit, Sarah tore open the doors and stumbled out into the moonlit night. The evil spirits, enraged and thwarted, wailed their despair, their power weakened by her unwavering defiance. As she escaped Hollow Hill's clutches, she glanced back one final time, and there, in the window of the asylum, she saw the anguished face of a tormented soul, trapped for eternity. And so, my friends, the tale of Hollow Hill serves as a chilling reminder that darkness can lurk anywhere, even in the most unassuming places. It beckons us to ponder what secrets lie beneath the surface of our own lives, and to approach with caution the realms that surpass our understanding. Beware, for the haunting echoes of Hollow Hill echo into eternity, a testament to the terrifying depths of the human experience in the face of the unknown. Once upon a time, in a small, quaint town There lived a family in a house, shrouded in mystery. The townspeople whispered eerie tales about the house, claiming it was haunted by restless spirits. No one dared to set foot near it after sunset, for they feared the terrifying occurrences that took place there. One dark and stormy night, a brave young couple decided to investigate the paranormal, rumors circulating in the town. Their curiosity got the better of them as they embarked on a mission to uncover the truth. Armed with flashlights and a sense of adventure, they ventured into the eerie house that loomed over the neighborhood. As soon as the couple entered, an unsettling chill filled the air. They could hear the faint sound of creaking floorboards and whispers echoing through the empty rooms. Shadows danced on the walls, playing tricks with their senses. Every step they took sent shivers down their spines, but their determination to uncover the truth kept them going. Slowly they made their way up to the attic, where the most sinister stories were said to originate. The room was filled with dusty, forgotten belongings, creating an atmosphere that was suffocatingly eerie. The couple felt as if unseen. Eyes were watching their every move. Suddenly, a cold gust of wind sent a chill through the room, causing the couple to pause. It was then that they noticed a handwritten journal resting on a dusty shelf. With trembling hands, they opened it, revealing the chilling words scribbled within its pages. The journal unveiled a tale of tragedy, a story of a family torn apart by darkness and despair. As they read on, the room grew colder and more oppressive. Shadows seemed to grow longer, menacingly creeping towards them. The lights flickered, threatening to plunge them into total darkness. Fear engulfed the couple as they realized they had awakened a dark force, stirring in the depths of the house. In a desperate bid to escape, they hurriedly made their way down the creaking stairs, their footsteps resonating through the eerie silence of the house. But as they reached the front door, it slammed shut with an unsettling force, trapping them inside. Panic consumed the couple as they searched for an exit, their cries for help echoing through the desolate halls. They were trapped at the mercy of the tormented spirits that haunted the house. Hours turned into an eternity as the couple found themselves in a never-ending nightmare. In their darkest moments, they mustered the strength to recite a chant they had stumbled upon in the journal. To their surprise, the chant seemed to ward off the malevolent forces, weakening their grip on reality. With each recitation, the house trembled as if in agony. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, an ethereal glow filled the room, banishing the darkness and freeing the couple from their torment. Gasping for breath, they stumbled out of the house, gratitude flooding their hearts for their fortunate escape. The town's terrifying secret had been exposed, thanks to their courageousness. From that day forward, the haunted house remained empty, a symbol of the real-life horror that had unfolded within its walls. And so, dear reader, beware the allure of mystery, for sometimes the darkness that lies within is far more terrifying than any ghostly apparition. Attention all thrill-seekers and horror enthusiasts. Prepare yourselves for a bone-chilling, spine-tingling tale that will leave you restless in the dead of night. Brace yourselves as we delve into a real-life scary story that will test the boundaries of your courage. Once upon a time, in a small, forgotten town, nestled deep within the shadows of an ancient forest, a haunting presence lurked. It was a story whispered in hushed tones, passed down through generations, as a dreadful reminder of the darkness that dwelled within the human heart. The townsfolk spoke of a desolate mansion that stood amidst the eerie silence of the woods. Its decaying walls held the secrets of a twisted past, a place where unspeakable horrors had unfolded. Legend had it that the mansion was once home to a wicked sorcerer, a man of sinister intentions, who delved into the black arts. Many tales circulated about this malevolent sorcerer, stories that would send shivers down the spines of the bravest souls. They spoke of blood-curdling, screams echoing through the mansion's deserted halls, of visions that drove men to madness, and of apparitions that materialized and vanished in the blink of an eye. Curiosity got the better of a young group of friends who dared to venture into the depths of that forsaken mansion, armed with nothing but flickering flashlights and trembling hands. They stepped into the abyss of the unknown. The air was thick with a palpable sense of foreboding. As they went deeper, their hearts pounding in their chests like drums of impending doom, one by one they were separated in the labyrinthine corridors of the mansion. The darkness seemed to weave a malevolent tapestry of fear, suffocating their very souls. Whispers echoed from unseen corners, chilling their blood and tightening their throats. It seemed as though invisible eyes were watching their every move, waiting to strike when they least expected it. The friends could no longer ignore the terrifying reality of their situation. Panic engulfed them, and a desperate struggle to reunite and escape became their only hope for survival. But as they raced through the mansion's cursed rooms, reality twisted and contorted, blurring the lines between nightmare and reality, tormented by apparitions that danced at the edges of their vision. They fought against the suffocating. Their screams went unanswered, lost in the ethereal void of despair. The walls seemed to close in around them, entwining them in a macabre dance of imminent doom. Suddenly, as if the spirits of the mansion had relented, the friends found themselves outside the crumbling walls, gasping for breath and drenched in sweat. The mansion stood silent, ominously watching their escape, a twisted monument to the horrors they had witnessed. And so, dear audience, remember the tale of the haunted mansion, a chilling testament to the terrors that dwell in the darkest recesses of the human imagination, whether it be a figment of our minds or a chilling reality. The realm of the supernatural forever lingers in the shadows, waiting to draw us into its menacing embrace. Are you ready to hear a bone-chilling, real-life scary story that will make your heart race and your hair stand on end? Gather round, my friends, for a tale of terror that will leave you questioning the very fabric of reality. Once upon a time, in a small, seemingly serene town, there lived a family. They were like any other, with their cozy home and their laughter echoing through the halls. But beneath their seemingly ordinary existence, something sinister lurked, waiting to reveal itself. The family began experiencing strange occurrences that chilled them to the core. Late at night, when all was quiet and darkness enveloped the house, they could hear inexplicable footsteps echoing down the hallway. The sound would start softly, barely audible, but quickly grew louder and more menacing. It felt as though an unseen presence was inching closer and closer, threatening to consume them. As the days turned into weeks, the family's once playful children became pale and withdrawn. Nightmares plagued their sleep every night, awakening them in a cold sweat. They would claim to have seen shadowy figures lurking in the corners of their room, their eyes gleaming with an otherworldly glow. Desperate for answers, the family sought out a local paranormal investigator, armed with their cameras and recording devices. They delved into the depths of the haunted house, hoping to capture evidence of the supernatural. What they discovered would send shivers down their spines. The investigators' images revealed ethereal apparitions that defied explanation. Ghostly figures, their faces twisted in agony, appeared in the family's photographs. Eerie voices whispered in the background of their recordings, speaking in a language unknown to the living. The evidence was undeniable. Their home was a portal to the realm of the dead. As the investigation continued, the malevolent presence grew stronger, lashing out in a furious display of its power. Objects flew through the air, shattering against walls with an unnerving force. The family felt icy fingers brush against their skin, leaving behind an invisible mark that lingered long after the touch had vanished. Terrified and desperate for solace, The family turned to a renowned psychic medium. With her abilities, she could communicate with the spirits trapped within the haunted house. Her seances were a last-ditch effort to bring peace to the tormented souls that dwelled there. In the eerie silence of the seance, the medium channeled the spirits and listened to their sorrowful tales. They revealed a history of tragedy and pain rooted in the very foundation of the town. Their tortured existence had been festering for centuries, and now they sought revenge on the living. Armed with the knowledge of the spirit's suffering, the family embarked on a mission to cleanse their home of the malevolence that had gripped it tightly. With the guidance of the medium, they performed rituals and offered prayers, pleading for the release of the tormented souls. As the final ritual concluded, a profound stillness descended upon the house. The haunting ceased, and the family's once terror-filled home had transformed into a sanctuary of peace. The spirits, finally freed from their earthly binds, had found solace in the afterlife. So remember, my friends, that beneath the facade of normalcy, the world harbors unspeakable horrors. Be wary of the shadows in the night, for they may hide something far more terrifying than your wildest nightmares. Dare to enter the realm of the supernatural at your own risk, for once you open that door, there's no telling what horrors may await you. Do you dare to delve into the bone-chilling horrors that lurk within the shadows of reality? Brace yourself for an unsettling journey as we unveil a spine-tingling horror story based on true events. In the quiet town of Hollowbrook, a sinister legend whispered among the locals stole the peaceful slumber of its unsuspecting residents. The tale spoke of a haunted house, shrouded in darkness, and dread, where unspeakable atrocities unfolded. Once a charming abode, the Larkin mansion transformed into a house of terror after a family tragedy stained its walls with blood. Rosemary Larkin, a beautiful and vivacious young woman, had succumbed to madness, claiming the lives of her own kin in a frenzy of violence. Since that fateful night, the house stood abandoned and cursed, casting a ghastly shadow over the entire town. Those who dared to venture near experienced inexplicable unease, as if an invisible hand embraced their very souls, alerting them of the malevolence that dwelled within. One stormy night, curiosity trumped fear, and a group of restless teenagers decided to investigate the macabre legends surrounding the Larkin mansion. Armed with flashlights and pounding hearts, they embarked on a foolish quest for the truth. As they crept through the dilapidated hallways, whispers of long-lost spirits echoed in their ears, chilling their bones to the core. The air turned heavy with spectral presence, and each step felt like a dance with death. The house seemed alive, its creaking floors mirroring the agony of the tortured souls trapped within its walls. But when the clock struck midnight, the haunting truly began. Shadows materialized, dancing in the flickering candlelight. Ghostly apparitions floated through the air, their mournful cries piercing the night. The group watched in terror as the malevolent spirits reenacted the Larkin family's dreadful demise over and over again. With each passing minute, the teenagers felt the house's grip on their sanity tighten, as if it fed on their fear. They desperately tried to flee, but the once familiar doorways became labyrinthine mazes, leading them deeper into the abyss. They stumbled upon Rosemary's room, the epicenter of the haunting. Adorned with decaying dolls and foreboding symbols, the room radiated an evil so potent it threatened to consume their very souls. Only one among them possessed the strength to break free from its clutches. As the survivor emerged from the cursed mansion, trembling and scarred, a heavy burden weighed upon their heart. The horrors they witnessed would forever haunt their nightmares, a reminder that evil can intertwine with reality, lurking just beneath the surface of our fragile existence. This cautionary tale from Hollowbrook serves as a stark reminder that true horror can manifest where we least expect it. So, dear audience, as you walk the path of life, be vigilant, for the darkness that lurks in the shadows may be closer than you dare to imagine.